What's up guys, Firewolf here, reviewing the ROG Swift OLED PG32UCDM gaming monitor. For those who have been looking to get this monitor when it first came out back in February, they were quickly sold out everywhere and very hard to get. It had amazing and dreamy specs with a 4K 32-inch screen, 240Hz refresh rate, and the latest QD-OLED panel with that beautiful semi-gloss coating that a lot of display enthusiasts prefer over matte displays. Now, during the initial launch, many users have reported issues with HDR and other bugs that kept this from being amazing. Well, almost 7 months later and on the 4th firmware version MCM 105, I want to know if this monitor is worth the premium price tag of $1,299 and if it's worth a spot on your gaming desk setup. I'll also give you guys a comparison between the newly released PG32UCDP in hopes that you guys can make the best decision for your own unique gaming setups. Now, diving deeper into the specs, the PG32UCDM features a 31.5-inch 3rd generation QD-OLED panel, which comes with a better sub-pixel layout that improves text clarity, and let's not forget the deep and creamy blacks you get out of OLED. Thanks to the 4K resolution, the pixel density of this monitor is about 140 pixels per inch, giving you sharp and detailed visuals. The screen is nice and flat and has an anti-reflective semi-gloss coating, which is fire. The clarity is insane, but it does come at a cost, which is glare and slight raised blacks. More on this later. Colors are amazing with a 99% DCI P3 color gamut coverage and a factory calibrated Delta less than 2 color accuracy. Firmware update MCM 105 added Dolby Vision and a new dynamic brightness boost, which is awesome. It's also VESA Display HDR True Black 400 certified with an HDR peak of 1000 nits. For gaming, this monitor is packed with NVIDIA certified G-Sync compatible AMD FreeSync Premium Pro, and is also VESA certified for Adaptive Sync Display 240. You get smooth and tear-free gaming with an ultra-low 0.03 millisecond response time. This monitor is also rich in connectivity, which includes one DisplayPort 1.4 with downstream compression, two HDMI 2.1 ports, one USB-C port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and right by that we also have an optical digital audio output, and finally a USB 3.2 upstream port with 3 USB-A ports. It is straight up stacked. My favorite has to be the USB-C display port, which can provide up to 90 watts of power delivery, making this perfect for laptop users, and the awesome built-in KVM switch adds even more value and usefulness for those that use multiple devices. For those that have seen my unboxing and first impressions video, you'll know that ASUS gives you a really awesome looking pouch that gives you a whole ton of cables that you need to connect to your monitor. Moving on, the design of this monitor features your usual ROG cyberpunk theme aesthetics, which gives you that gamer's look. Some of you guys will either love it or hate it, but I think it looks cool. The heatsink on the back is very large with lots of ventilation, and the ROG logo does light up with RGB, which you can customize in the settings, or even sync in with ASUS's Aura Sync. I do wish the RGB lighting was brighter though, since it's hard to tell that it's even on even when it's super dark. The stand is very sturdy and also features red ROG lighting projection, which looks cool, but it is very distracting, but you can always shut it off in the settings. Now, I'm not a fan of the base since it does eat up a lot of your desk space, so instead I like to use a monitor arm for a way cleaner setup. You do need to use the included VESA mount adapter, so keep in mind. The screen also has slim bezels and looks nice and sleek, but there is a lot of space between the edge of the monitor and the screen. There's also that ROG hump on the bottom that might be a turn off for a lot of you guys, but it does house the menu buttons and short keys, which also lights up, but honestly I also shut those off. Now let's test out the ROG Swift OLED PG32UCDM using my gaming PC equipped with an RTX 4090 and a Ryzen 9 7950X3D. Now 4K gaming on this monitor is incredible. This QD-OLED looks so damn good. And whether you're gaming in SDR or HDR, you're going to enjoy amazing visuals, contrast, and colors. Loading up a high fidelity game like Black Myth Wukong with DLSS set to quality and graphics to cinematic is straight up fire. Everything feels buttery smooth thanks to G-Sync compatibility, and in SDR there are many game visual settings to choose from, which you can then adjust shadow boost intensity levels. There's even a dynamic shadow boost that uses AI to enhance dark areas automatically, which is perfect for first-person shooters or very dark settings. Keep in mind that a lot of these settings are only available when in SDR. Now in HDR, you can choose between 4 different settings, and it lets you even enable brightness adjustments in case you want to reduce the actual brightness. HDR gaming looks incredible, and it even lets you calibrate to over 1000 nits using Windows HDR calibration. Earlier I mentioned that firmware MCM105 added Dolby Vision, and this really further enhances the versatility of this monitor. There's not a lot of content that supports Dolby Vision, but it's still a great addition to have and really sets this monitor apart. Other gaming features this monitor has is adding an FPS counter, 6 different crosshairs to choose from, a sniper mode which you can magnify from 1.2x all the way up to 2x, which honestly might feel like cheating, but I don't know guys, you guys let me know. There's even a sniper night vision mode. Playing fast action-packed games is great on this monitor thanks to the 240Hz refresh rate and 0.03 millisecond response time. Now obviously this being a 4K monitor, it's recommended that you have a good graphics card, something like a 4080 Super or higher. However, if you have something that's more mid-tier, you still can game in 4K. You just might have to adjust the amount of graphic settings to better optimize your own setup. I really think that PG32UCDM offers so many features for gamers with settings and tweaks to customize and make it your very own experience. Testing out the PS5 on this monitor, and I'm happy to report that it supports 4K with variable refresh rates all the way up to 120 Hz. This means you'll be able to maximize your console's full potential. For games that support VRR, you'll experience smoother gameplay. I like how quick the inputs change when you automatically turn on your PS5, and you'll also be able to do split screen with another input as well. Since this monitor has no built-in speakers, we have a few options for sound output. You can use a 3.5mm headphone jack to connect an aux to an external speaker, or you can use a digital audio optical output. I personally like to use an aux cord and connect it to my NZXT relay speakers, and honestly I love how crisp the sound is with no sound muffles. Now of course you have the option of using headphones, but for console users that want to use external speakers like myself, it's great to have options. I think this monitor is also a great option for console gamers looking for an awesome OLED experience without having to buy a massively large OLED TV. Now let's talk about the biggest debates. Gloss versus matte, or in this case, UCDM versus UCDP. This section of this review will be the same on both of these respective review videos as I try my best to show you the differences between the two. The UCDM uses QD-OLED technology from Samsung, while the UCDP uses WOLED technology from LG. They both have their pros and cons, but what separates the experience is the added layer on top of these OLED technologies. The UCDM has an anti-reflective semi-gloss coating, which gives it that sleek and clear look that you might find similar to your own smartphone, tablet, or laptop, which are normally true gloss. The UCDP, on the other hand, uses an anti-glare matte coating, which gives it that slight fuzzy look, but eliminates glare and reflection. Now there is no denying that glossier displays look better than matte, since you're getting a more vibrant and intense picture quality, but there's a reason why the majority of monitors use matte coatings. I mean, even Samsung made the switch to non-glare matte coatings on their latest G80SD and G60SD monitors. Using a glossier display in very bright setups and direct sunlight can and probably will ruin your experience, and in this example you can tell that the UCDP is still black with intense lighting hitting it, while the UCDM has a magenta purplish tint that becomes very obvious. And in this example you can see the reflections of light, or in this case my windows being reflected on the UCDM, while the UCDP does not have that same reflection. Now it's going to be a matter of personal preference and your unique setup. Take this comment for example on my UCDP first impressions video, where Ace of Spades says, "Just got mine this week. I love it way more than my 3423 DWF QD-OLED, because I game near a window in a large room, and even with the blinds down, the old monitor was almost unusable. I would literally use my IPS $120 second monitor more. Now with the WOLED, it is a game changer. So much more use during all times of day. The QD does have more vibrant colors, but only if you can fully control all your light sources in the room. Now obviously in his experience, what really made that difference is not really the WOLED or QD-OLED, it's really because of the coating. The matte coating is what made his experience better. Now when you're looking at these two monitors side by side at night, they both look amazing. However, the UCDM looks even better because of that clarity. It's so beautiful to look at that when you look at a matte display, you are immediately turned off. A lot of my comments tend to bash matte coatings, and I get it. Gloss just looks amazing. Now keep in mind that the UCDP also has a unique dual mode feature that allows you to change from 4K 240 to 1080p resolution, but with a crazy fast 480Hz refresh rate. The menu settings on the UCDP also seems to be more refined with more AI features. With that being said, here's my recommendation on deciding which to choose. If you're someone who plans to use this monitor during the day, you like letting in natural vitamin D, or you might have windows placed opposite of the screen, the UCDP would be an overall better experience. On the other hand, if you're someone who plans to use this monitor more during the night, maybe you have amazing lighting control, or you prefer making your setup dark, then the UCDM would be the best experience for you. These are of course my opinions, and I truly believe it all depends on your own preferences and setups. Whichever you choose, best believe you're getting some of the best 4K OLED monitors on the market. The PG32UCDM has a lot of features to minimize the chances of OLED burn-in. The large custom heatsink and the addition of a graphene film right behind the QD-OLED panel improves the cooling efficiency to help prevent burn-in. There's also a screen protection option buried deep in the system setup portion of the menu settings, which honestly should have had its own dedicated menu icon for easier access like it is on the UCDP. You'll be able to enable screensaver, perform pixel cleaning, set up a reminder, adjust the movement of the screen, and finally you can have the monitor adjust logo brightness automatically. For a better menu experience, you can download ASUS's display widget sensor to give you a clear software experience. You have a dedicated OLED care menu with other features you can customize as well. With all those burn-in features, ASUS takes it another step by offering an amazing 3-year burn-in warranty. This makes the decision in pulling the trigger easier, knowing you'll be covered just in case. Text clarity on this 32-inch 4K display is excellent. You're getting almost 140 pixels per inch, what helps makes text look nice and sharp. I have no issues with color fringing, and a new sub-pixel layout solved a lot of the issues older OLED monitors faced. Office apps like Word and Excel look great, and I would assume software coders won't have issues reviewing those small lines of code. The semi-gloss looks amazing, but keep in mind that you may see some glare that might distract you if there's multiple light sources. Brightness on this monitor for an OLED monitor is really good. In SDR, I measured a peak brightness of 464 nits on a 2 and 10% window, and finally I measured 260 nits of brightness on a 100% window. You're definitely getting the advertised 450 max and 250 at 100%. For HDR, I was able to measure a peak of 1025 nits of brightness on a 1% window, which is incredible. You're getting one of the brightest OLED monitors, making this a great choice for HDR gaming and content. Now, one of my favorite features of this monitor is the included USB-C DisplayPort input. It makes using your MacBook or gaming laptop easier to connect with up to 90 watts of power delivery. Now, I know on the back of the monitor it says 65 watts. However, you're able to manually enable 90 watts in the settings. Connecting my MacBook Pro is seamless, and macOS looks amazing on this monitor. Now, since this MacBook has the M3 chip, the max refresh rate is only 120 Hz. But if you had the Pro or Max versions, you'd be able to do 240 Hz through USB-C or HDMI. Now, another awesome feature is the built-in KVM switch. I have my wired keyboard, Stream Deck Plus, and wireless mouse connected on this monitor, and now when I connect to my MacBook, it can automatically switch between my PC and Mac, which is fire. The auto detection might not be perfect all the time, but you can always manually switch the KVM to either USB-B or USB-C. It even lets you go as high as USB 3.2 bandwidth for Type-C transfer speeds. As a content creator, this monitor delivers amazing colors and 4K resolution, which are perfect for video editing and graphic design. Using DaVinci Resolve is awesome on this monitor with lots of space to see all the important features you need, and most importantly, a good view of the timeline. This monitor not only excels at gaming, but also when you need to get work done, whether that's editing, streaming, browsing the web, this monitor can do it all. So to the ultimate question, does the ROG Swift OLED PG32UCDM deserve a spot in your gaming setup? $1,300 is very steep, and I haven't seen this monitor go on sale yet since it's been in high demand. But even at that price, I think you're getting a monster of a monitor. I think this monitor adds great value with the addition of USB-C, KVM switch, and a wide range of gaming features that would honestly make me choose ASUS over Samsung or LG, despite not having built-in speakers and a worse stand. Now, whether the semi-gloss coating is the best or right option for you really depends on your own setup and preferences, so I highly recommend checking out the PG32UCDP, which I'll be dropping a review on next. I think the PG32UCDM is one of the best 4K OLED monitors money can buy, especially if you want that glossier display. I have no issues recommending this monitor and think it's a great choice for not only gamers, but also as an all-in-one monitor. If you're interested in getting this monitor or the many tech that you've seen in this video, I will have affiliate links down below, which also helps and support the Firewolf Tech channel. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and I would love your support with a like, share, and subscribe. Firewolf out.